time management is a skill that helps us accomplish more in less time. It reduces stress and makes it easier to balance work, study, and personal life. The first step in time management is understanding how we currently spend our time. Do we spend too much time on unimportant activities like watching TV or browsing the internet? By understanding our current habits, we can identify areas for improvement. After understanding how we use our time, the next step is setting goals. Goals give our lives direction and help us focus on what's important. These goals can be related to work, school, or personal life. Setting clear goals allows us to prioritize the tasks that matter most. Once we know our goals, we can begin organizing our tasks by importance and urgency. Not all tasks are equally important. Some tasks need immediate attention because they are both urgent and important, while others can wait. A helpful method to prioritize tasks is using the Eisenhower matrix. This tool categorizes tasks into 4 groups based on their urgency and importance, allowing us to focus on what truly needs our attention. Planning is another key aspect of time management. When we plan our day, we become better at executing tasks on time. Writing a daily to-do list is an effective step. By organizing and prioritizing tasks, we ensure nothing important is forgotten. Daily planning also gives us a sense of accomplishment as we complete each task. It's important to leave room in our schedule for unexpected tasks. No matter how well we plan, new things will come up that require our attention. By setting aside extra time, we can handle these tasks without feeling overwhelmed or stressed. This flexibility allows us to adapt to new situations with ease. Breaking down large tasks into smaller steps is another effective time management strategy. When faced with a big task, it can be overwhelming, making it hard to know where to start. By dividing it into smaller tasks, we can make progress bit by bit, which helps us stay motivated and on track. This also allows us to see our progress more clearly. Avoiding multitasking is also crucial for managing time effectively. While it might seem like doing many tasks at once helps us get more done, it actually lowers the quality of our work and increases the chance of mistakes. Focusing on one task at a time allows us to work more efficiently and produce better results. Taking short breaks throughout the day is also important for maintaining productivity. Working for long periods without a break can lead to burnout and decreased performance. A short break, even just 5 minutes, can help us recharge and continue working with renewed energy. Staying motivated can be challenging, so rewarding ourselves after completing tasks is a good practice. Rewards can be something simple, like watching a favorite movie or enjoying a nice meal. These small rewards help us maintain enthusiasm and make time management more enjoyable. Finally, it's important to be flexible with our time management. Sometimes, things don't go as planned, and that's okay. The key is to adapt and make changes as needed. If a task takes longer than expected or something new comes up, we can adjust our plan and keep moving forward. In conclusion, time management is a valuable skill that helps us achieve our goals, reduce stress, and improve our quality of life. By setting clear goals, prioritizing tasks, planning our day, and staying focused, we can make the most of our time and accomplish more. Remember to take breaks, avoid multitasking, and reward yourself for a job well done. With practice, we can develop strong time management skills and create a more balanced and fulfilling life. Managing our time wisely not only helps us complete tasks but also ensures we maintain a healthy work-life balance. It's easy to get caught up in daily tasks and forget about taking care of ourselves. However, self-care is just as important as any task on our to-do list. By managing our time effectively, we can make space for activities that nurture our well-being, such as exercising, meditating, or spending time with loved ones. One of the benefits of good time management is that it allows us to say no to unnecessary tasks and distractions. Often, we feel obligated to say yes to everything, whether it's taking on extra work, attending social events, or helping others. While it's important to be helpful and social, it's equally important to recognize our own limits. Learning to say no when necessary helps us protect our time and focus on what truly matters. Another important aspect of time management is learning to delegate tasks. Delegating means entrusting others with tasks that do not require your direct involvement. This is especially useful in work settings where teamwork is essential. By delegating, we free up time to focus on higher priority tasks that require our specific skills and attention. It also empowers others by giving them the opportunity to contribute and develop their own skills. In addition to delegating, automating repetitive tasks can save time and reduce mental fatigue. Automation involves using technology or systems to perform tasks automatically, without manual intervention. For example, setting up automatic bill payments or scheduling social media posts in advance. By automating routine tasks, we can reduce the time spent on mundane activities and free up time for more meaningful work. Time management also involves being mindful of how we spend our leisure time. It's easy to waste hours on activities that provide little value, such as scrolling through social media or watching TV. While it's important to relax, it's also important to choose activities that truly refresh and energize us. Engaging in hobbies, learning new skills, or spending time in nature can be more fulfilling ways to use our free time. Procrastination is a common challenge in time management. It's the act of delaying tasks, often because they seem difficult or overwhelming. Procrastination can lead to stress and lower quality of work as tasks pile up and deadlines approach. To overcome procrastination, it's helpful to break tasks into smaller steps, set specific deadlines, and eliminate distractions. Starting with the easiest part of a task can also build momentum and make the rest of the work seem less daunting. It's important to recognize that time management is not about being busy all the time. It's about being intentional with our time and making conscious choices about how we spend it. Being busy for the sake of being busy can lead to burnout and decreased productivity. Instead, focus on being productive and making progress toward your goals, while also allowing time for rest and relaxation. In summary, effective time management isn't about constant busyness but about making deliberate choices that enhance our lives. By focusing on what truly matters and allowing time for rest, we can achieve our goals while maintaining balance and well-being. Remember, it's the quality of how we spend our time, not just the quantity, that truly counts. Living a healthy lifestyle is important for everyone. It helps you feel better and have more energy. One way to stay healthy is by eating a balanced diet. This means eating different types of food, like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. It's also important to drink plenty of water. Avoiding too much sugar and fast food can help you stay fit. Making small changes in your diet can make a big difference in how you feel every day. Exercise is another key part of a healthy lifestyle. It helps keep your body strong and your mind clear. You don't need to go to the gym to exercise, even a short walk can be beneficial. Try to move your body every day, whether it's through walking, running, dancing, or playing a sport. Regular exercise can help you maintain a healthy weight, reduce stress, and improve your mood. Find an activity you enjoy and make it a regular part of your routine. Getting enough sleep is also very important for your health. Sleep helps your body and mind recover from the day. Most adults need around 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. To improve your sleep, try going to bed and waking up at the same time every day. Make your bedroom a comfortable place to sleep, and avoid screens before bed. Good sleep habits can help you feel more rested and ready to face the day. Managing stress is another important part of living a healthy life. Stress can affect your body and mind in many ways. It's important to find ways to relax and manage stress. This could be through activities like reading, listening to music, or spending time with friends and family. Taking deep breaths or practicing meditation can also help you calm down. Finding what works for you is key to reducing stress and maintaining a healthy lifestyle. Drinking enough water is crucial for your health. Water helps your body function properly and keeps you hydrated. It's recommended to drink at least 8 glasses of water a day. Carrying a water bottle with you can help remind you to drink water regularly. Staying hydrated is important, especially if you're exercising or if it's hot outside. Drinking water can also help you feel more alert and focused during the day. Eating breakfast is a great way to start your day. Breakfast gives you energy and helps you focus. A healthy breakfast includes foods like whole grains, fruits, and protein. Avoid sugary cereals and pastries, as they can make you feel tired later. Instead, choose foods that will keep you full and give you energy for the morning. Making time for a good breakfast can set the tone for a productive day. It's also important to take care of your mental health. Just like your body, your mind needs care and attention. Make time for activities that make you happy and relaxed. This could be spending time with loved ones, enjoying a hobby, or simply taking a break. If you're feeling down or stressed, don't be afraid to talk to someone you trust. Taking care of your mental health is just as important as taking care of your physical health. Limiting screen time is another way to live a healthier life. Spending too much time on your phone, computer, or watching TV can be bad for your eyes and your sleep. It's important to take breaks from screens throughout the day. Try setting a timer to remind yourself to step away from the screen. Instead of scrolling on your phone, you could go for a walk or read a book. Reducing screen time can help you feel more relaxed and improve your sleep. Eating mindfully is a good habit to develop. This means paying attention to what you're eating and how it makes you feel. Eating slowly and enjoying each bite can help you appreciate your food more. It can also help you recognize when you're full, so you don't overeat. Mindful eating can improve your relationship with food and help you make healthier choices. Try to eat in a calm environment without distractions like TV or phones. Getting outside and spending time in nature is great for your health. Fresh air and sunlight can improve your mood and energy levels. Even just a short walk in the park can make a big difference. If you can, try to spend some time outside every day. Being in nature can help reduce stress and make you feel more connected to the world around you. It's a simple way to boost your well-being. Maintaining good hygiene is also important for staying healthy. This means washing your hands regularly, brushing your teeth twice a day, and showering or bathing regularly. Good hygiene can help prevent the spread of germs and keep you feeling fresh. It's also important to wear clean clothes and keep your living space tidy. These small habits can make a big difference in how you feel and how others perceive you. Staying active at work or school is important, too. If you sit for long periods, try to stand up and stretch every hour. This can help prevent stiffness and keep your energy levels up. If possible, take short walks during breaks. Moving your body regularly, even in small ways, can help you stay focused and productive. Remember, every little bit of movement counts towards a healthier lifestyle. Building a support system is key to staying healthy. Surround yourself with positive, supportive people who encourage you to take care of yourself. This could be friends, family, or coworkers. Having a support system can help you stay motivated and make healthy choices. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Sometimes, just talking to someone can make a big difference in how you feel. Setting goals for your health can help you stay on track. Whether it's eating more vegetables, exercising regularly, or getting more sleep, setting clear goals can make it easier to stay focused. Start with small, achievable goals and build from there. It's important to celebrate your progress along the way. Setting and reaching health goals can give you a sense of accomplishment and motivate you to keep going. Cooking at home is a great way to eat healthier. When you cook at home, you can control the ingredients and portion sizes. Try to make meals that include a variety of foods like vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. Cooking at home can also be a fun and relaxing activity. Experimenting with new recipes and flavors can make healthy eating more enjoyable. Plus, it's a great way to save money and eat well. Remember, small changes can lead to big results. By making healthier choices every day, you're taking important steps towards a better life. Whether it's cooking at home, staying active, or getting enough sleep, each choice you make matters. Focus on progress, not perfection, and be kind to yourself along the way. A healthy lifestyle is a journey, not a destination. Keep moving forward, and you'll continue to see the benefits in both your body and mind. Fear of failure is something everyone experiences at some point in their life. It can stop you from trying new things, taking risks, or even following your dreams. But did you know that failure is a natural part of success? In fact, many successful people failed many times before they finally reached their goals. So, how do we deal with this fear and turn it into a stepping stone toward success? First, it's important to understand that failure doesn't mean you're not capable. Instead, it's an opportunity to learn and improve. Every time you fail, you learn something new about what works and what doesn't. This knowledge helps you get closer to success. Think of failure as feedback, not a dead end. When you change your perspective on failure, it becomes less scary. One common fear is the idea that others will judge us if we fail. We worry about what people will say or think. But remember, everyone has their own challenges, and most people are too focused on their own lives to pay attention to your failures. What matters is how you view yourself. If you believe in your ability to grow from failure, you won't be held back by what others think. To overcome the fear of failure, it's important to set realistic goals. When you set a big goal, break it down into smaller, manageable steps. This way, even if you fail at one step, it doesn't feel overwhelming. You can learn from the mistake and continue toward your goal. Celebrate small successes along the way, and don't let one failure stop your progress. Another key to handling fear of failure is to take action, even when you're scared. The more you avoid taking action because of fear, the stronger that fear becomes. On the other hand, when you face your fear and take a small step forward, you build confidence. Over time, each step makes the fear smaller and your courage bigger. Success comes from action, not from avoiding risks. One of the best ways to deal with fear is to reframe your thoughts. Instead of saying, "What if I fail?" ask yourself, "What if I succeed?" Focus on the positive possibilities instead of the negative ones. Visualize yourself achieving your goal. When you focus on success, your brain becomes more open to finding solutions, and you feel more motivated to keep going. Successful people know that failure is just a part of the journey. Take Thomas Edison, for example. He failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. But each failure brought him closer to success. Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This mindset is key to achieving long-term success, no matter how many times you fail. Another great example is J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter books. Before her success, she faced rejection from many publishers. She could have given up, but she didn't. Instead, she used the rejection as motivation to keep going. Today, she is one of the most successful authors in the world. Her story reminds us that rejection and failure don't define us, our perseverance does. If you want to succeed, you need to be willing to take risks. Risk doesn't mean being careless, it means stepping outside your comfort zone. It's about trying new things and accepting that not everything will work out the way you want. But when you take risks, you also open the door to new opportunities and growth. Remember, success often comes to those who are brave enough to take chances. A big part of overcoming the fear of failure is to accept that mistakes are natural. Nobody is perfect, and everyone makes mistakes along the way. The key is to not let those mistakes define you. Instead, use them as opportunities to learn and improve. When you view mistakes as part of the learning process, you become more open to trying new things without fear of failure. To build resilience against failure, it's also important to focus on self-compassion. When you fail, don't be too hard on yourself. Treat yourself with kindness, the way you would treat a friend who's going through a tough time. Remind yourself that failure is a part of life, and it doesn't mean you're not good enough. By being kind to yourself, you bounce back from failure much faster. Another helpful strategy is to surround yourself with positive, supportive people. When you're facing failure, having friends or mentors who believe in you can make a big difference. They can offer encouragement, help you see the lessons in your failure, and push you to keep going. Remember, success is not a solo journey. Having a strong support system can help you overcome challenges. It's also important to take care of your mental and physical health when dealing with fear of failure. Stress and anxiety can make the fear worse, so practice mindfulness or relaxation techniques like deep breathing or meditation. Exercise and proper rest can also help you manage your emotions better. When you feel balanced and healthy, it's easier to face challenges with a positive mindset. Sometimes, the fear of failure comes from setting unrealistic expectations for yourself. You might think you need to be perfect or that success should come quickly. But the truth is, success often takes time, and no one is perfect. Be patient with yourself. Understand that failure is just a step on the path to success, not the end of the road. Progress is more important than perfection. One practical way to reduce fear is to plan for failure. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen if I fail? Then, make a plan for how you would deal with that situation. When you have a plan, failure becomes less scary because you know you can handle it. This doesn't mean you expect to fail, but it helps you feel prepared and confident, no matter what happens. It's also important to recognize the difference between temporary setbacks and permanent failure. A setback might slow you down, but it doesn't mean you've failed completely. Successful people often face many setbacks before reaching their goals. The key is to keep moving forward even when things don't go as planned. Every setback is a chance to learn and come back stronger. Finally, remember that failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of it. Every successful person has failed at some point. The difference is that they didn't give up. They used failure as motivation to keep going. So, don't let fear stop you from pursuing your dreams. Embrace failure, learn from it, and use it as a tool to achieve the success you desire. In conclusion, dealing with the fear of failure is all about changing how you view it. Failure doesn't mean the end, it's simply a part of the journey toward success. By learning from your mistakes, taking risks, and surrounding yourself with support, you can overcome the fear of failure. Remember, the only real failure is giving up. Keep going, and success will follow. Success is not about never failing, it's about how you rise after failure. When you face your fear, take action, and learn from your experiences, you become stronger and more resilient. With the right mindset, failure can be your greatest teacher. Ali Baba was a poor woodcutter who lived in a small village. One day, while he was cutting wood in the forest, he saw a group of 40 thieves. They were carrying heavy bags filled with gold and treasure. Ali Baba hid behind a tree and watched as the thieves stood in front of a large rock. The leader of the thieves said the magic words, "Open Sesame," and the rock opened to reveal a hidden cave. The thieves entered the cave, and the rock closed behind them. Ali Baba waited until they had left and then approached the rock. He repeated the words he had heard, "Open Sesame." To his amazement, the rock opened, and inside the cave, he saw piles of gold, jewels, and other treasures. Ali Baba filled his bags with as much treasure as he could carry and returned home. Ali Baba told his wife about the treasure, and they decided to keep it a secret. However, Ali Baba's brother, Qasim, was very curious. He noticed that Ali Baba had suddenly become rich and asked him where he had gotten the money. Ali Baba eventually told him about the cave and the magic words. Qasim was greedy and wanted the treasure for himself. Qasim went to the cave the next day, hoping to take as much treasure as he could. He said the magic words, "Open Sesame," and the rock opened. Qasim entered the cave and began to fill his bags with gold. However, in his excitement, he forgot the magic words to open the cave again. He was trapped inside the cave with no way out. When the thieves returned, they found Qasim inside the cave. They knew someone had discovered their secret, so they killed Qasim and cut his body into pieces. The thieves left the cave to search for whoever else knew about the treasure. Ali Baba became worried when his brother didn't return and went to look for him. He found Qasim's remains and brought them back home. Ali Baba needed help to bury his brother and keep the secret safe. He turned to a clever slave girl named Morgiana, who was loyal and resourceful. Morgiana helped Ali Baba prepare a proper burial for Qasim without raising any suspicion in the village. She also knew that the thieves would come looking for whoever knew about the cave, so she stayed alert. The thieves, realizing someone else knew about their treasure, began searching for Ali Baba. They disguised themselves and entered the village. The leader of the thieves rented a house near Ali Baba's home. Morgiana noticed their suspicious behavior and quickly realized who they were. She made a plan to protect Ali Baba and his family. One night, the leader of the thieves and his men hid in large oil jars, planning to attack Ali Baba's house. Morgiana overheard their plan and quickly acted. She boiled oil and poured it into each jar, killing the thieves inside. When the leader of the thieves realized his men were dead, he fled the village, never to return. Morgiana saved Ali Baba and his family from the thieves. Ali Baba was grateful and rewarded her for her bravery. He also realized that he could trust her with the secret of the treasure. Morgiana became a trusted member of Ali Baba's household, and the family lived in peace with their newfound wealth. Ali Baba continued to live a modest life despite his wealth. He knew that greed could bring danger and unhappiness. He shared some of the treasure with the poor people in his village and used the rest to provide for his family. The lesson he learned was that happiness doesn't come from riches, but from living a good and honest life. The story of Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves is a famous tale from the Arabian Nights. It teaches the values of honesty, bravery, and wisdom. Ali Baba was not greedy, and he was rewarded for his good heart. Morgiana's loyalty and cleverness saved Ali Baba's life, proving that kindness and intelligence can overcome evil and danger. The thieves in the story represent greed and selfishness. They were willing to harm others to keep their riches, but in the end, their greed led to their downfall. Ali Baba, on the other hand, only took what he needed and shared his wealth with others. This contrast shows the importance of generosity and humility in life. Morgiana's character is one of the most admired in the story. She is not only brave but also quick-thinking. When faced with danger, she didn't panic but used her intelligence to defeat the thieves. Morgiana's actions remind us that even in difficult situations, staying calm and thinking wisely can help solve problems. Ali Baba's decision to share the treasure with the poor also reflects the values of generosity and compassion. Even though he found great wealth, he didn't let it change him. Instead, he used his fortune to help others. This part of the story teaches that true happiness comes from helping those in need, not just accumulating wealth. The magic words "Open Sesame" have become a symbol of unlocking hidden treasures. In modern times, they are often used in stories and movies to represent the opening of secrets or mysteries. The phrase adds a magical element to the story, making it one of the most memorable parts of Ali Baba's adventure. The cave in the story represents a place of hidden wealth, but it also symbolizes the dangers of greed. While the treasure is tempting, it brings with it great risk. Qasim's greed led to his death, showing that seeking wealth without caution or wisdom can have severe consequences. Ali Baba's story has been retold in many different ways over the centuries. It has been adapted into books, films, and plays. Each version of the story highlights different lessons, but the core message remains the same: honesty, courage, and kindness are more valuable than any treasure. Morgiana's cleverness in defeating the thieves shows that intelligence and quick thinking are as important as physical strength. Her actions prove that sometimes the best way to solve a problem is to outsmart the enemy, rather than confront them directly. Morgiana is a character who demonstrates the power of using one's mind to overcome challenges. Ali Baba's decision to keep the secret of the treasure safe reflects the importance of responsibility. He understood that with great wealth came great risk, and he acted wisely to protect his family and his village. This part of the story teaches us that sometimes, keeping a secret is the best way to avoid danger. In conclusion, the story of Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves is a timeless tale of adventure, danger, and moral lessons. It reminds us that while wealth can be tempting, the true treasures in life are honesty, loyalty, and wisdom. Ali Baba's courage and Morgiana's intelligence saved them both, showing that good values will always triumph over greed. Once upon a time, there was a mother goat who had 7 little kids. She loved them very much and took great care of them. One day, before leaving to get some food, she said, "Dear children, be careful of the wolf. If he comes, don't open the door. He has a deep voice and big, black paws." The little goats promised to be careful, and the mother goat left, hoping they would stay safe. Soon after the mother goat left, there was a knock on the door. "Let me in, my dear children, it's your mother," said a voice. But the little goats could tell that it wasn't their mother. "You are not our mother," they said. "Our mother has a soft voice, but yours is deep. You must be the wolf." The wolf realized his voice gave him away, so he went to the market and ate a big piece of chalk to make his voice sound softer. The wolf came back and knocked on the door again. This time, his voice sounded softer, like the mother goat's. "Let me in, my dear children, it's your mother," he said. But the little goats saw his big, black paws through the window. "You are not our mother," they shouted. "Our mother has white feet, but your feet are black. You must be the wolf." The wolf was angry, but he quickly thought of a plan. The wolf went to the baker and said, "Cover my paws with white flour." The baker was surprised, but he did as the wolf asked. Now the wolf's paws were white, just like the mother goat's. The wolf returned to the little goat's house and knocked on the door again. "Let me in, my dear children, it's your mother," he said. The little goats looked through the window and saw white feet. This time, they believed it was their mother. The little goats opened the door, and in came the wolf. They were so frightened that they quickly tried to hide. One little goat hid under the bed, another in the closet, one in the oven, and another in a big pot. The wolf found each one of them and swallowed them whole, except for the youngest goat, who hid in the clock case. After eating the 6 little goats, the wolf left the house, feeling very full. When the mother goat came home, she was shocked to see the door wide open. She called out for her children, but no one answered. She searched the house and found it empty. Finally, the youngest goat came out of the clock case and told her everything that had happened. The mother goat cried, but she quickly decided to find the wolf and save her children. She and the youngest goat set off to look for him. They soon found the wolf sleeping under a tree by the river. His stomach was so big because he had eaten so much. The mother goat took a pair of scissors and carefully cut open the wolf's stomach. To her surprise, her 6 little goats were still alive inside. One by one, they jumped out, unharmed. The mother goat was so happy to have all her children back, and they were all very grateful to her for saving them. The mother goat told her children to bring big stones from the river. While the wolf was still asleep, they filled his stomach with the heavy stones. Then, the mother goat sewed up the wolf's stomach. When the wolf finally woke up, he felt very thirsty. He went to the river to drink some water, but the stones in his stomach were so heavy that he fell into the river and drowned. The little goats were safe at last. The mother goat and her 7 children were so happy to be together again. They danced and sang, celebrating their safety and their cleverness. From that day on, the little goats were much more careful. They always remembered to listen to their mother's advice and never opened the door to strangers. They had learned a very important lesson: always be cautious and trust your instincts. The wolf was never seen again, and peace returned to the little goat's house. They lived happily, playing in the meadow and helping their mother with daily chores. The youngest goat, who had been the cleverest by hiding in the clock case, was praised by his brothers and sisters. The mother goat was very proud of all her children, and she knew they had become smarter and more careful because of their adventure. As time passed, the little goats grew bigger and stronger. They never forgot the day the wolf tried to trick them. Whenever they heard a knock on the door, they always checked carefully to make sure it was really their mother. They learned to trust each other and to work together to stay safe. The bond between the mother goat and her children grew even stronger after their experience. The mother goat continued to teach her children important lessons about life. She reminded them that the world could be dangerous, but with caution and wisdom, they could avoid trouble. The little goats listened to their mother and followed her advice. They knew that even though they were small, they could outsmart any danger with their clever thinking and teamwork. They were never fooled by strangers again. One day, while playing in the meadow, the little goats saw a shadow in the distance. They quickly ran back to their house and locked the door. They remembered the story of the wolf and knew they had to be careful. But when they looked through the window, they saw that it wasn't a wolf at all, it was a friendly dog. They laughed at their mistake but were proud that they had acted wisely to protect themselves. The little goats told the dog their story about the wolf and how their mother had saved them. The dog listened carefully and admired their bravery. He told them that it's always better to be safe than sorry. The little goats agreed and promised to always be on the lookout for danger. The dog became their friend, and they played together in the meadow every day, knowing they were safe with their new friend around. The mother goat was happy to see her children playing and enjoying life, but she never stopped reminding them to be cautious. The world is full of wonderful things, she said, but there are also dangers. Always use your heads and never trust someone who seems suspicious. The little goats nodded and promised to always be careful. They had learned to balance fun and safety, thanks to their mother's wisdom. As the seasons changed, the little goats continued to grow. They became more independent but always remembered the lessons their mother had taught them. They knew that they could handle any challenge if they stayed smart and worked together. The memory of the wolf faded, but the wisdom they gained from that experience stayed with them forever. They were stronger and wiser because of what they had been through. The little goats often told their story to other animals in the meadow. They wanted everyone to learn from their experience and be cautious of strangers. The other animals listened carefully and thanked the little goats for their advice. Soon, all the animals in the meadow were watching out for each other, making sure everyone stayed safe. The little goats were proud to have helped their friends. One day, the mother goat gathered her children and said, "You have all grown so much. I'm very proud of how smart and careful you have become. You are no longer little kids, but wise young goats." The children smiled and hugged their mother, thankful for everything she had taught them. They knew that no matter what challenges they faced in the future, they could overcome them by being clever and working together. The story of the wolf and the 7 little goats teaches us the importance of listening to those who care about us and being cautious in the face of danger. The little goats were able to outsmart the wolf by staying alert and using their cleverness. In life, we may face challenges, but with wisdom and teamwork, we can overcome them. Always be careful, trust those who love you, and never give up hope. Joha and his son and the donkey is the title of today's podcast. Let's get started. One day, Joha and his son decided to go to the market. They wanted to sell some goods and needed the donkey to carry their things. Joha and his son walked beside the donkey at first. On the way, they met some villagers who laughed at them. "Why aren't you riding the donkey?" they said. Joha thought about it and decided to sit on the donkey while his son continued to walk beside them. The villagers' words made him rethink his choice. After Joha rode the donkey for a while, they passed another group of people. This group looked at Joha and said, "How selfish you are, Joha. You're sitting comfortably while your young son walks in the heat." Joha felt embarrassed and got off the donkey. He told his son to ride it instead. Joha thought this solution would make everyone happy, but the reactions they faced taught them otherwise. As Joha walked beside the donkey and his son, they came across another group of people. "Look at that," the people said. "The young boy is riding while the older man is walking. How disrespectful." This made Joha and his son feel confused. It seemed that no matter what they did, people always found something to criticize. Joha scratched his head and started thinking of a new idea to avoid further judgment. To please everyone, Joha suggested they both ride the donkey. His son agreed, and they climbed on the donkey together. Soon, they met another group of people. These people looked shocked. "Poor donkey," they cried. "It's carrying too much weight. How cruel you both are to this poor animal." Joha and his son were embarrassed once again. They realized their plan wasn't working at all and had to think of a different approach. After hearing the complaints, Joha and his son decided to carry the donkey themselves. They tied its legs with a rope and lifted it onto their shoulders. As they walked toward the market, people stared at them in disbelief. Some laughed, while others pointed at them. "What a strange sight," the crowd said. Joha and his son felt foolish, but they were determined to stop the criticism they had been facing all day. When Joha and his son finally reached a bridge, the donkey started panicking. It struggled and kicked, trying to free itself from the ropes. The noise and movement startled Joha and his son. Suddenly, the donkey slipped from their hands and fell into the river. Joha and his son were shocked and upset. They watched helplessly as their donkey floated away, realizing they had lost their only means of transport. Joha sat by the river with his son, feeling both tired and sad. "We tried so hard to please everyone," he said, "but in the end, we lost what mattered most." His son nodded and replied, "Father, it seems that no matter what we do, people will always have something to say." Joha sighed deeply, understanding that his son was right. They decided to walk home, learning a valuable lesson from the day. This story of Joha and his son teaches us the importance of trusting our own decisions. Trying to please everyone can lead to unnecessary stress and confusion. Joha wanted to satisfy the people around him, but their constant criticism made him lose focus. This reminds us to stay true to ourselves and not let others' opinions control our actions. Another lesson from the story is about balance. While it's good to consider others' feelings, we shouldn't compromise our well-being or goals to meet their expectations. Joha's attempt to make everyone happy led to the loss of his donkey. This highlights the need to make wise choices that align with our priorities rather than worrying about judgment. Joha's story also teaches us about the importance of resilience. Even though he faced constant criticism, he kept trying to find a solution. This shows that challenges and mistakes are part of life. Instead of giving up, Joha and his son learned from their experience. This is a valuable reminder to keep moving forward, no matter how tough the situation may seem. It's also important to understand the concept of kindness. Throughout the story, Joha and his son tried to be considerate of both people and the donkey. However, their efforts were misunderstood. This teaches us that true kindness involves not only considering others but also staying true to our principles. It's about doing what's right, even if others don't always approve. One of the funniest parts of the story is when Joha and his son carried the donkey. This unusual scene reminds us that sometimes, trying too hard to satisfy others can make us look foolish. The humor in this moment teaches us to not take criticism too seriously. It's okay to laugh at ourselves and move on when things don't go as planned. Joha's story highlights the idea that perfection is impossible. No matter how hard we try, we can't please everyone all the time. People have different opinions, and trying to meet all their expectations can lead to failure. This teaches us to focus on doing our best without worrying about others' judgments. Another lesson from Joha's experience is about teamwork. Joha and his son worked together throughout their journey. Even though their efforts didn't succeed as planned, their collaboration shows the value of supporting one another in difficult situations. This reminds us that having someone by our side can make challenges more manageable. The donkey in the story symbolizes resources or opportunities that we often take for granted. Joha and his son were so focused on others' opinions that they lost their donkey. This reminds us to appreciate what we have and protect it from unnecessary risks. It's a lesson about valuing our assets and making wise decisions to preserve them. Joha's calm response to criticism is another important takeaway. Instead of reacting angrily, he tried to adapt and find solutions. This shows the value of patience and composure in handling challenges. It teaches us to approach problems with a clear mind and a positive attitude even when faced with negativity. Humor plays a big role in Joha's story. Despite the challenges, the humorous moments make the story enjoyable and memorable. This shows that even in tough times, finding humor can lighten the mood and bring a fresh perspective. It's a reminder to not take life too seriously and to enjoy the journey, even with its ups and downs. The story also highlights the importance of communication. If Joha and his son had explained their decisions to the people they met, they might have avoided some criticism. This teaches us that clear communication can help others understand our actions and reduce misunderstandings. It's a valuable skill in both personal and professional relationships. Lastly, Joha's story emphasizes the idea of self-confidence. By the end of the tale, Joha learns that he can't let others' opinions dictate his actions. This teaches us to believe in ourselves and trust our choices. Confidence is key to navigating life's challenges and staying true to our values, no matter what others might say. Once upon a time, there was a young woman named Beauty. She lived in a small village with her father, who was a poor merchant. Beauty was kind and loved reading books. One day, her father went on a journey and promised to bring her a rose, as that was all she wanted. On his way back, he got lost in the forest and stumbled upon a grand castle. Inside the castle's garden, he saw a beautiful rose and decided to pick it for Beauty. As soon as he picked the rose, a fierce beast appeared. The beast was angry and accused the merchant of stealing. "You must pay for this with your life," said the beast. The merchant begged for mercy, explaining that the rose was for his daughter, Beauty. The beast thought for a moment and then made an offer. "I will let you go if your daughter comes to live with me in the castle," the beast said. The merchant had no choice but to agree. When the merchant returned home, he told Beauty about the beast and the promise he had made. Beauty, being brave and kind, decided to go to the castle to save her father. She packed her things and said goodbye to her family. "Don't worry, Father," she said. "I will be fine." Beauty arrived at the castle, and the beast welcomed her. Although he looked scary, Beauty noticed that the beast was polite and treated her with kindness. Days turned into weeks, and Beauty started to get used to living in the castle. The beast gave her everything she needed, and they spent time talking together. Beauty learned that the beast was not cruel but had been cursed by a witch long ago. The only way to break the curse was if someone loved him despite his appearance. Although Beauty did not yet love the beast, she began to see the goodness in his heart. One evening, the beast invited Beauty to a grand dinner. He asked her, "Do you think you could ever love me?" Beauty was surprised by the question. She replied, "I don't know. You are kind, but I need more time." The beast understood and did not press her. Instead, he gave her a magical mirror. "With this mirror," he said, "you can see your family whenever you wish." Beauty was grateful and often looked into the mirror to check on her father. One day, Beauty saw in the mirror that her father was very ill. She rushed to the beast and begged him to let her visit her father. The beast, although sad to see her go, agreed. "You may go, but promise me you will return in 1 week," the beast said. Beauty promised and left the castle to take care of her father. Her family was happy to see her, and her father soon began to feel better with Beauty's care. As the week passed, Beauty's sisters became jealous of the gifts the beast had given her. They didn't want Beauty to return to the castle, so they convinced her to stay a little longer. Beauty, forgetting her promise, stayed with her family for several more days. One night, she had a terrible dream. In the dream, the beast was lying on the ground, weak and dying. Beauty woke up in a panic and realized she had broken her promise. Without wasting any time, Beauty rushed back to the castle. When she arrived, she found the beast in the garden, lying still. He was weak and barely breathing. Beauty knelt beside him and cried, "I'm so sorry. Please don't die." She realized that she cared for him deeply. "I love you," she whispered. At that moment, a bright light surrounded the beast, and he began to transform. Beauty watched in amazement as the beast turned into a handsome prince. The prince explained to Beauty that he had been cursed by a witch many years ago. The curse could only be broken when someone loved him for who he was inside, not for how he looked. Beauty's love had saved him. The prince thanked her and asked her to stay in the castle with him forever. Beauty agreed, and they lived happily together. The castle, once dark and empty, was now filled with light and joy. Beauty's father, hearing the news, came to the castle to visit her. He was overjoyed to see that his daughter was happy and safe. The prince welcomed him warmly and thanked him for raising such a kind and brave daughter. Beauty and the prince invited the villagers to visit the castle and share in their happiness. The people were amazed at the transformation of the castle and the kindness of the prince. As time passed, Beauty and the prince grew closer. They shared many wonderful moments together, walking in the gardens and talking about their dreams. Beauty realized that she had found a true friend and partner in the prince. They both learned the value of looking beyond appearances and appreciating the goodness inside each other. Their love grew stronger with each passing day. The prince decided to throw a grand ball in honor of Beauty. He invited all the villagers and people from nearby towns to come and celebrate. The castle was beautifully decorated, and everyone dressed in their finest clothes. Beauty wore a stunning gown, and when she entered the ballroom, everyone gasped at how beautiful she looked. The prince took her hand, and they danced together under the sparkling lights. At the ball, Beauty's sisters watched her in awe. They realized how wrong they had been to be jealous of her. They approached Beauty and asked for her forgiveness. "We were wrong to try and keep you from returning to the castle," they admitted. Beauty, being kind-hearted, forgave them and invited them to stay at the castle for a while. Her sisters were grateful and promised to change their ways. As the night went on, the guests enjoyed the music, dancing, and food. Everyone admired the love between Beauty and the prince. They could see how happy they made each other. The villagers who had once feared the castle now felt welcome and at home. The castle, once a place of sadness and loneliness, was now filled with laughter and joy, thanks to Beauty's love and kindness. The prince took Beauty to the castle's balcony, where they could see the stars shining brightly in the sky. "I never thought I would find happiness again," the prince said. "But you changed everything." Beauty smiled and replied, "I never thought I would find love in such an unexpected place. But here we are, and I'm so glad." They both knew that their love had grown stronger through the challenges they had faced. Beauty and the prince decided to travel and explore the world together. They visited new places, met new people, and shared their story of love and transformation. Everywhere they went, people were inspired by their tale. "Love is powerful," Beauty would say. "It can change everything if you believe in it." The prince agreed and added, "True love sees the heart, not the appearance." Beauty and the prince decided to travel and explore the world together. They visited new places, met new people, and shared their story of love and transformation. Everywhere they went, people were inspired by their tale. "Love is powerful," Beauty would say. "It can change everything if you believe in it." The prince agreed and added, "True love sees the heart, not the appearance." Years passed, and Beauty and the prince continued to live happily together. They ruled the kingdom with wisdom and kindness, always remembering the lessons they had learned from their journey. The people of the kingdom loved and respected them, knowing that their rulers truly cared for their well-being. Beauty and the prince's love remained strong, proving that true love is lasting and powerful. The story of Beauty and the Beast teaches us that true love looks beyond appearances. It shows us that kindness, bravery, and love can break even the strongest curses. Beauty's willingness to see the goodness in the Beast's heart changed both their lives forever. Their story reminds us that love can transform the world around us, making it a brighter, more beautiful place. The story of Frankenstein begins with a young scientist named Victor Frankenstein. He lived in Geneva, Switzerland, and was very curious about science. Victor loved to read books about electricity and life. As he grew older, he decided to study at a university in Ingolstadt. There he learned more about science and how to experiment with different things. Victor became obsessed with the idea of creating life. He wanted to do something no one had done before, bring something back to life. Victor spent many months working in his laboratory. He collected different parts of dead bodies and used his knowledge to try to create a living being. Finally, after a lot of hard work, Victor succeeded. One stormy night, he used electricity to bring his creation to life. But when the creature opened its eyes, Victor was horrified. The being was very tall and had a frightening appearance. Victor realized that he had made a terrible mistake, and he quickly ran away, leaving the creature alone. The creature was confused and scared. It had no idea where it was or who had made it. The world was new to it, and it had to learn everything on its own. At first it tried to find its creator, Victor. But when people saw the creature, they were afraid and chased it away. The creature felt lonely and sad, because no one wanted to be its friend. It realized that it was different from everyone else, and didn't belong anywhere. This made it feel very angry. The creature was confused and scared. It had no idea where it was or who had made it. The world was new to it, and it had to learn everything on its own. At first it tried to find its creator, Victor. But when people saw the creature, they were afraid and chased it away. The creature felt lonely and sad, because no one wanted to be its friend. It realized that it was different from everyone else, and didn't belong anywhere. This made it feel very angry. Meanwhile, Victor tried to forget about the creature, and return to his normal life. But no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't stop thinking about what he had done. He was filled with guilt and fear, worried that the creature might hurt someone. One day, Victor received terrible news. His younger brother, William, had been murdered. Victor knew immediately that it was the creature's doing. He felt responsible for his brother's death, knowing that his creation had caused it. The creature, feeling rejected by the world, wanted revenge on Victor. It was angry that Victor had given it life, but had abandoned it. The creature searched for Victor, and finally found him. It told Victor about the pain it had experienced, and how lonely it felt. The creature asked Victor to create a companion, someone like it who could understand its pain. The creature promised that if Victor did this, it would leave him and the rest of humanity alone. Reluctantly, Victor agreed. Victor started to work on creating a second creature, a female companion for the first one. But as he worked, he began to worry. He feared that creating another creature would only make things worse. What if the two creatures caused more harm together? In the end, Victor destroyed the second creation before it was finished. When the creature found out, it was furious. It vowed to make Victor suffer for breaking his promise and ruining its chance at happiness. Filled with anger, the creature decided to hurt Victor in the worst way possible. It promised to be there on Victor's wedding night, to take away the person Victor loved the most. Victor was terrified, but didn't know what to do. He married his childhood sweetheart, Elizabeth, hoping that the creature wouldn't follow through on its threat. But on their wedding night, the creature kept its promise. It killed Elizabeth, leaving Victor devastated and alone. After losing Elizabeth, Victor's life was filled with sadness and anger. He made a decision: he would hunt down the creature and destroy it, no matter what it took. Victor began a long and difficult journey, following the creature across many lands. He traveled through forests, mountains, and even icy landscapes, always chasing the creature but never quite catching it. The creature too was determined to keep running, leading Victor on a never-ending chase. Victor followed the creature north, to the icy regions of the Arctic. There he met a ship captain named Robert Walton, who was exploring the Arctic with his crew. Victor was exhausted and weak from his long journey, but he told Walton his story, explaining how he had created the creature, and how it had destroyed his life. Victor asked Walton to continue the hunt for the creature if he didn't survive. Walton listened carefully, amazed by Victor's incredible and tragic tale. Victor's health worsened in the freezing cold, and soon he was too weak to continue his journey. He died on the ship, filled with regret for the terrible mistake he had made. After Victor's death, the creature appeared one last time. It told Walton how much pain it had suffered, and how lonely it had been since its creation. The creature felt guilty for causing so much death and suffering. Now that Victor was gone, the creature didn't know what to do next. The creature, standing over Victor's lifeless body, realized that its purpose was gone. It no longer had a reason to live. Filled with sorrow and regret, the creature told Walton that it planned to end its own life. It was tired of being alone and hated. The creature explained that it would go far into the Arctic, build a funeral pyre, and burn itself so that no one would ever find it. Walton listened quietly as the creature said its final goodbye to the world. The creature disappeared into the cold, desolate Arctic landscape, and Walton never saw it again. He reflected on Victor's story and the creature's tragic existence. Walton realized that both Victor and the creature had suffered because of their ambitions and the way they had been treated by society. Victor's obsession with science had led to his downfall, while the creature's longing for acceptance had turned into anger and revenge. It was a tale of deep sadness and warning. As Walton's ship prepared to leave the Arctic, the crew faced their own challenges. They had come to the frozen land in search of adventure and glory, but now they were faced with dangerous ice and freezing conditions. Some of the men wanted to turn back, fearing for their lives. Walton was torn. He wanted to push forward and complete his journey, but he also didn't want to put his crew in danger. In the end, he decided that the safety of his men was more important than his personal ambitions. With a heavy heart, Walton turned his ship around and headed back home. The journey had changed him. He realized that the desire for fame and success could lead to destruction, just as it had for Victor Frankenstein. Walton wrote about his experiences in letters to his sister, sharing the lessons he had learned. He hoped that by telling Victor's story, others would understand the dangers of unchecked ambition and the consequences of playing with forces beyond human control. Victor Frankenstein's story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of trying to control life and death. His obsession with science led him to create a creature that he couldn't understand or manage. The creature born out of Victor's ambition was abandoned and left to suffer in a world that rejected it. This rejection turned the creature into a monster, but at its core it only wanted to be loved and accepted. The tragedy of the story lies in the failure of both creator and creation. One of the main themes of Frankenstein is the idea of responsibility. Victor created life, but he didn't take responsibility for his creation. Instead of caring for the creature, he abandoned it, leaving it to navigate the world alone. This neglect had serious consequences, leading to the deaths of many innocent people. The story reminds us that when we create something, whether it's a life, an idea, or an invention, we must be responsible for its impact on the world. Another important theme in Frankenstein is isolation. Both Victor and the creature are isolated in different ways. Victor isolates himself by focusing only on his scientific work and cutting off his relationships with family and friends. The creature is isolated by society because of its appearance. This isolation leads to loneliness and despair for both characters. The story shows us the importance of human connection, and how dangerous it can be to live without it. The novel also explores the relationship between creator and creation. Victor's failure to guide and care for the creature reflects a larger question about what it means to be a creator. Should creators take responsibility for their creations? The creature, though born innocent, becomes violent because of the way it's treated. The story suggests that both nature and nurture play a role in shaping who we become. It raises important questions about ethics and the consequences of scientific discovery. In the end, Frankenstein is a story about ambition, responsibility, and the consequences of playing with forces we don't fully understand. Victor's desire to control life leads to tragedy, both for himself and for the creature. The novel challenges readers to think about the limits of human knowledge and the dangers of trying to push beyond those limits. It reminds us that every action has consequences, and we must be prepared to face them. The story of Frankenstein continues to resonate with readers today.